Welcome to the channel if you're new here. I am Misaki, and today we're going to be talking about some tips that I have discovered along the way after doing a lot of research of how to keep your hair color lasting for as long as possible. I have had almost every color out there. I'll put some pictures up here for you to see. So I've had so many different colors with different brands, different hair dyes, etc, etc. I've tried a lot of different things to see what works and what doesn't work. So I'm going to share my knowledge with you guys today. So first off, I have very thick hair, and I've learned that my hair doesn't really take dye very well. So I always leave my dye in for a lot longer than what the package will say. I leave it in for at least 45, usually going for an hour. I'll just like sit down and watch TV, a couple episodes of whatever, something that I'm binge watching at the time. Usually on the package it'll say 25-30 minutes. Well, that never works for me. So I have actually also heard that some people will sleep with it overnight, but you really don't want to do that because the dye will dry your hair out. So I wouldn't really go too much over an hour. If you are bleaching your hair though, that's different than hair dyeing. You have to be really careful and very observant about that. That also leads into my next thing. If you're going a lighter shade and is not like a bleaching kit or a hair dye kit that you're going to get that is intending to lighten your hair, and you actually want to do it like a different color and a natural color like blue, pink, this red even or something, then you want to lighten your hair as pale as possible. You don't have to go like stark white or anything, but you want to get as blondish pale as possible where the hair dye isn't going to really take and is not going to show up as vibrant and as true a color. It's going to turn out really dark. One of the first things that I did before I really knew anything about hair dye is I tried to put a blue dye over dark brown hair. Nothing showed up. Nothing worked, and I couldn't understand why. Well, that's why. Also, the brighter it is, the longer your hair dye is going to last. It won't fade as quickly. But brightness is different than light colors. For example, if you want to do your hair a very pastel shade, that's gonna come out a lot quicker than say this dark red or black or some other kind of bright color. Say you got like a bright neon green compared to a baby pastel kind of pink or green, those are gonna fade a lot quicker than the other brighter color. So next up is when you're moving along then to washing out your hair color, realize that it says on the package, I've never seen any package that doesn't say, rinse until the water goes clear. So if you are not used to dyeing your hair, please know that your water will not be going clear whatsoever the first wash. It is still going to have quite a bit of dye out, but if you keep trying to go at it and go at it and go at it and make it go clear, you're just kind of wasting the dye. I still have a lot of hair dye color. When I wash my hair, the next few times come out, and that's normal. You know, it'll look like a bloodbath of Barney or whatever is going on, you know, whatever color you have. I remember when I had purple hair, and that's when just like Barney just kind of went everywhere in my bathtub before. So you just need to, you know, don't worry about the hair dye, how it's going to keep coming out. Also, the first night that you're going to be washing, don't wear light colored clothing. Try to wear black. Try to dry your hair fully, because a little bit of hair dye is going to probably rub off on your pillowcase, especially if it's lighter, on your clothes. I've had that happen quite a few times, and it's kind of normal, but do rinse enough that you feel a lot of the dye has come out. Okay, so after you've dyed and rinsed your hair, it's going to come time where you're going to be needing to wash your hair. And I can recommend these two right here by the Sexy Hair Company. This is the Vibrant Sexy Hair Color Safe Shampoo and Conditioner. Now you might be wondering what's the difference between a color safe shampoo and conditioner compared to a regular shampoo and conditioner. Yes, hairdressers, professional ones, especially ones that are more into dyeing hair, will recommend to you to use a color safe shampoo. And why is that? Usually these will not have sulfate or alcohol in them. And sulfates and alcohol, which you can find in your normal shampoo and conditioners, tend to strip your hair of the color because they're really getting in there and trying to get away like the dirt and oils, compared to this one, which has a softer, more gentler way of cleaning out your hair. These also include a very conditioning kind of element. These in particular are the rose and almond oil, and they smell divine. So I have used these 3 different times now together, and I really love them. They smell so good, and I love almond and I love rose. And these do seem to be working. They make my hair feel very nice, and they smell great. And I haven't noticed as much dye coming out in the water. Like I said, I washed my hair 3 times since I've re-dyed it with the Manic Panic Vampire Red, if you're wondering. And it's really nice. It's really working. I really like them, and I really do like the Sexy Hair brand. I use their products pretty often, so if I recommend any to you, it's gonna be these 2. Also, while you're washing your hair, you want to try and use as cool as water temperature as you can stand, because the hotter the hair, the more, or the hotter the water, the more your hair is tending to open the roots and let the color escape. I mean, there's so many different things that are prone to letting the color just come straight out of your hair, because people that use hot water or use regular shampoo or shampoo and condition their hair very frequently are going to have the dye just come right out. And that's another thing, is I do not wash my hair as frequently as what I used to before I started to dye my hair. So I wash my hair maybe twice a week, and in between that, your best friend is going to be a dry shampoo, which is something that you want to just spray in. And Sexy Hair brand also has a very nice dry shampoo. They have a lot of really nice hair products, actually. So like I said, I really recommend this brand. So you want to use dry shampoo in the oily parts of the hair, so like in the bangs and fringe if you have any, on the roots, in the very back, which is where I'm prone to getting a little bit oily. And then you just brush it through, and it'll make your hair look just perfect and beautiful, and kind of gives it a matte look. And lastly, 2 other things is stay away from the pool. Not only when you go in, especially if you just dyed your hair, you're gonna bleed all over the place, especially if it's not a natural color. It's just don't. You don't want to get in the pool and then suddenly all this, you know, red or purple or whatever kind of comes out. You might be able to get away with blue, but I wouldn't really recommend it. But the chlorine is definitely a factor and will take a toll on your hair, so you want to try and avoid that. And then lastly, which is something I myself don't listen to, because if I don't, my hair would just go just all over the place, is try to stay away from heat tools. Whereas I use a hair dryer, I use a straightener, I'm not going to stop using them, but heat is another thing where it'll help to just bleed out the color and open it up, just like the hot water. Any kind of heat source is going to take a toll on your hair. So if you really want to make a hair color last for as long as possible, try and follow these tips. Remember, color safe shampoo, leave in your hair dye, stay away from heat, etc, etc. So if you have any other tips or anything, go ahead and tell me down below. If you have any other questions regarding hair color, hair dye, whatever, down below, let me know. Hope this has helped you guys. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I do videos multiple times a week. Have a lovely day, and may the force be with you. Bye!